The reports make headlines. Drivers carjacked. In some cases, their cars stolen straight from parking spaces.
In all of our effort, no one presented us with a sensible and sustainable solution to these realities. So our team of volunteers took it upon ourselves to find one.
One Baltimore City neighborhood found a unique solution to the problem: license plate readers. Coming up, how they landed on that idea and how the city helped bring it to fruition. You don't need to look hard to see downtown Baltimore's renaissance, and this redevelopment has only just begun. Councilman Eric Costello explains what he wants to see come to his district. And later, something positively Baltimore. This season was anything but easy for the Dunbar High School Poets, which makes their state championship title all the more sweet. We share what led up to this poetic end. That's all coming up this morning on 11 TV Hill. And hi everyone, I'm Jason Newton. Welcome to 11 TV Hill. The numbers really tell part of the story. Baltimore City is seeing an increase in crime related to cars. Take a look. In 2023 alone, there have already been some 761 carjackings. So the question from many city residents is what can be done to put the brakes on this trend? We spoke to community leaders who came up with a solution. Joining us now is Jeffrey Dewberry. He's with the Riverside Neighborhood Association, and Brad O'Brien with the Federal Hill Neighborhood Association. Good to see you both.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
great to be here.
We ran a story earlier this week. You've put cameras up in the area, and I feel like it was a neighborhood saying, listen, we're going to do whatever we can to help with the stolen cars and possibly the carjackings as well.
Yeah, you know, one of the things we realize is that there are realities facing the city that we can't change. You know, the BPD is understaffed.
Sure.
10,000 cars stolen. You know, there are a lot of things that are kind of outside of our control, but as a neighborhood and as a group of volunteers, we wanted to be able to make an impact where we could.
Yeah.
We wanted to say, here's a known issue, and here's an avenue for us to pursue to address or solve that issue. So it was really a great partnership with volunteers, with neighborhood associations, with BPD, with our elected officials to get it done. And we think it's a step in the right direction.
I'm a city resident, as are you guys, and I guess we get to a point you're kind of fed up. I mean, everyone knows someone who's been affected at this point.
Yeah, definitely, and pretty much this came out of asking Baltimore City Police, what can we do to help? You guys are understaffed, and the conversation led us to we could purchase technology. So we worked with our state elected leaders, our council member Eric Costello, to work together and figure out a solution. And one thing that came out of the state was the Department of Housing and Community Development grant. Which we were able to tailor to get these license plate readers. So the neighborhood associations, we came together, a lot of meetings in local bars, after work to try to figure this out, create a comprehensive plan. And we were able to go out, BPD gave us the license plate reader vendor, and we were able to work with them, and then we are donating these all to BPD. So the main thing is Brad, Jeff, and the neighborhood associations don't have access to any of the data that's going to be on these license plate readers. It's all given to BPD to make things work, and we're kind of really modeling this after what other cities have done throughout the country, like for example, the Atlanta Police Foundation and others.
And being able to go the grant route, I'm guessing, helped cut down some of the time and some of the red tape that would have taken for the city to do it on its own.
Yeah, so procurement and all of these things that the city needs to do, we didn't have to do that. Now, what happened in our situation, or in this situation with the Community Safety Works grant, was one resident in Southeast Baltimore, Arch McCown, as well as us, we secured a good amount of money that was going to be dedicated to helping BPD or giving them what they would call force multipliers. Yeah. And they were a bit startled. And so BPD, from at that point Commissioner Harrison's office, they got their legal team together, they got everybody together, and they said, okay, like, we're going to find a way to make this work. Sure. It was much quicker, much more agile. There's one vendor that does it for the state of Maryland, so that made it a lot easier. But it was a great experience working with BPD on getting this done.
It'd be very easy to sour on the city and say, listen, we're getting out of here. We're going to move to Cockeysville or wherever. But you take a different approach, and tell me about the willingness and the desire to stay in the city.
Yeah, so every volunteer, Jeff, myself, we all have stories and we all have experiences. And there are people who say, I've had enough, I'm leaving. Sure. But there are people who say, I'm actually wanting to put down my roots here. I'm raising 4 kids here. And there are some people who say, I want to actually give myself to make my community better. Those are the people who are working with us. Those are the people who are giving their time. Some are retired, some are stay-at-home moms, some are executives, some are at different roles, but they say, I want to take what I have to help make my community better. And so that is really what is the driving force here. It's the volunteers. It's your neighbor who has the ideas and the experience to put that to work for the good of all of their neighbors, not just themselves. And what's really courageous to me are those who have been victims of crime, who use that as a catalyst to help others. That is a different level of courage. They want others to be protected from what they experienced.
What's the buzz like now as people actually see the cameras up and ready to see them at work?
Yeah, the buzz is great. We want to show that Baltimore is a safe place to visit, and we want to help fulfill that. For example, there's been some data that our folks have put together is the fact that you will go probably almost 10 years sometimes, even living in Baltimore, that you may not be victim of a crime. And that's the big thing that we want to get across is you are safe, things happen. This is an urban environment, things happen. I'm from Howard County, and these things even happen in Columbia, same things. So it's not just a Baltimore issue, it's a national issue, and being in an urban environment, you're going to have things happen. But at the end of the day, we want to make it safe for visitors, we want to make it safe for residents, and for the residents, we want them to stick around, put down these roots.
I'm convinced we're still Charm City. Gentlemen, thanks for coming
Thanks for your time.
Good to see you.
Thank you
Good to see
so
as well.
much.
Certainly.
Well, with car thefts on the rise, Hyundai holding another anti-theft software event. The upgrades are for drivers with older model cars. Now, the upgrade will happen at M&T Bank Stadium's Lot H, December 15th to 17th. No registration is needed.